Sorry. Oh my god. No, I don't care about things like that. I hate when people.
That is it. How long ago?
Down right now. Yeah. I'm on 178, 118, and then Shoreline on the other. You got it. You're welcome. Yeah, it's only.
Are facing us. Look at that. That's probably it. Is that it? He was on the other side.
Yeah, Dorilla had 392, which is like the Adam car.
Maybe that's his bike. He's talking on us.
I'm not Midnight 35, the confine of the 7th precinct is two male blacks that fled westbound, no description of them. No further information. Where is there? Is that 5K?
All units responding to the CIS. Please advise Central.
Cancellation of 115 for 98th Street. No 152 on Gas Avenue. Yeah, boy.
This on the LIE exit 19 West Street Boulevard to the 10 Hot.
Wherever the search is.
All right, sir. I understand you live in on the street here behind you.
Cambria Heights, right here, down the block.
What's your reaction to this three individuals, including a child that was shot here?
Well, I think it's sad that, you know, you have such young people getting affected by gun violence in our community. To see that, you know, three individuals being hurt, and, you know, we don't know what the cause of it was. But this is something in our community that we're fighting to stop. You know, we have to have more programs to take the guns off our streets. More importantly, we need actual, our schools open up later, you know, for opportunities for young people to actually stay inside the schools. But more importantly, this is at nighttime, right? So how do you prevent this, right? This seemed like it was a family situation. We don't know what actually happened, and to make the situation the cause of it. But we know that this is not acceptable. It's sad. I hope that everybody survives. More importantly, I'm thinking about the 8-year-old. I have a daughter that was just born April 1st. So I'm thinking about what that looks like for any daughter, anybody to be killed or be shot, saying that. Right here in Southeast Queens. And that's something that we need to do better job. I'm glad the 113 police is out here, but what can we do to prevent this? How can it be preventive, you know, instead of being reactionary? And I think that for me, as a resident, as a homeowner, you know, I think that, you know, you don't want to see this. And this brings down property value. This brings down the communities, you know, upbeatness. You know, when we see people are getting shot at nighttime in front of their houses in a car. So that's what happened, correct?
Yeah, three of them.
Three of them got shot in the car.
Total, yeah.
Do we know, you know, they were just sitting in the car and maybe just...
No, we don't know too much of the circumstances, but we do know there's three victims, including that child, that
So
8-year-old.
we need to do as much as possible to make sure things like this don't happen again. You know, it's going to be a long summer. It's going to be a hot summer because people have been stuck in the house, you know, from COVID, you know, this pandemic. But more importantly, we need to do the best way we can do, be preventive, and more importantly, invest in actual organizations that help our community. And that's my stance on this. But it's so early.
Commissioner, at a press conference in a Times Square shooting, I'm sure you remember that, you mentioned how many kids have to be shot until bad policies change. Do you feel like there's any bad policies currently that are causing the crime?
Absolutely. I think Mayor de Blasio, you know, during the Black Lives Matter movement, he had the chance to actually open up the schools later. You know, we know for certain that schools in our community, in Southeast Queens especially, this is our only community center in the district, which is Roy Wilkins Park. If you live in Camden Heights, you live in Queens Village, live in Hollis, you have to take 2 to 3 buses to get to this community center. So we don't have maybe the funding to build a community center, but what we can do is open up our schools later, right? To, you know, maybe to 8 o'clock p.m. to have young people to actually have something to do. It always takes a tragedy for them to actually pay attention to what's going on, and we're trying to be preventive, right? So we had all this funding. It takes so much money for a permit to be opened up in the school and DOE, but we have churches, but more importantly, the schools could serve as the community centers, and you can open it up later. I think that's common sense for me, common sense for the community, and we used to have access to our schools. We don't have access to our schools, and think about that. We pay the property taxes in this community, and our young people don't even have access to go inside the schools to use after school program, right? We have nothing but nonprofits that would love to have us, that need just space, need a gym, need opportunities, need electricity, right? And we have that. I think that's how we could be preventive, actually help the community. But this is going to happen over and over again unless you give real resources, opportunities, you know, and fund real programs. You know, that's been here. I'm a product of the Springfield Rifles organization. Springfield Rifles services this community right here in Roy Wilkins Park for more than 50 years.
Oh, wow.
So, you know, I'm a board member. So, you know, those type of, you know, organizations that have over 200 kids on their roster is very helpful. But let's be preventative, right? Let's open the schools up later. If we don't have the funding to actually build the schools and build a community center, utilize what we have already, our schools. You know, but this is a different situation. This is somebody that had access to a gun. This is somebody that's been, you know, maybe do the wrong thing. That 3 people got shot at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night. That's a huge problem. And I think we have to be more preventative to help that. But for kids, for young people, the schools are here, man. Let's open the schools up. You know, so I think Mayor de Blasio has failed that tremendously. We've known
The schools were shut down for some time.
the schools were shut down, right? But if we're doing all these, you know, we're helping the communities and black communities, especially across the city. This is something that he had strength and he had power to actually open up our schools to utilize.
And what's your name, sir? Your full name?
James Johnson.
Can you spell it?
James, James, Johnson, Johnnson. Born and bred right here. Went to all public schools in the district, PS 136, IS 59, and Campus Manor High School. I'm a product of this park right here, Roy Wilkins Park. Springfield Rifles, like I mentioned, everybody knows Springfield Rifles. You live in Southeast Queens, right? But you know, this is, you know, open up our schools.
And you mentioned you were running
for City Council, District 27.
Excellent.
I used to work for the New York City Comptroller's Office. I also used to work for the current council member, Miller as well.
Excellent. Thank you for what you do, and thanks again.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right.